Hello, blade lovers. Welcome back. OG Blade Reviews with you once again. And what's on the table today? Something new, a few weeks old maybe, from Ketuo. Ketuo. Achoo. Oh, sorry, Ketuo. Sorry for making fun of the name. I looked it up. That's how you pronounce it. According to AI, our source for all accurate and universal information, right? Ketuo. They are a sister company of Reich Knives. Two brothers own those two companies, and this is Ketuo USA. You go to their website, they've got lots of stuff that will ship out of Brooklyn, New York. And that's where this came from. Was going to get it from White Mountain. They thought they had a copy, then they didn't. This is being the S version, the satin version. So this was drop shipped directly from Ketuo. So here we go, Ketuo. You get a really pricey cutout little thingamajiggy here, specifications, with everything on it. And yet, I'm going to measure it anyway. But there are your specs, okay? Mine may be a little off from that, but that's what you're getting. And the designer is Felix Daneshwara, if I pronounced that correctly. Carbon fiber blue inlay. I'm not sure if it's fat carbon or not. There's a nice sticker. I don't want to spend too long in this. I know you guys get anxious. Too many study drugs, whatnot. Sorry about that. Here we have the NAF, and it's in there tight in its little coffin. This is the BRATVA. BRATVA, looking that word up, being a Russian word for brothers or brotherhood or band of brothers and that kind of thing, and does refer to organized crime groups in Russia. So it's like having a knife named Mafia or Cosa Nostra, what have you. It is named BRATVA. I suppose you could take that in the positive to mean just brothers or brotherhood. So, I mean, that's cool too. But yeah, you know, you mention it to somebody who is Russian and they may say you're talking about organized crime. The cool thing about this one is it does have the inlays on both sides. And I could call them inlays or onlays. They're really inlays, but they are standing proud somewhat of the titanium handle. I think that makes it easy for them to put it in without having to finish those down. Removes a step in the production process, although this is by no means a knife that has not seen some attention to detail. As you can see, we've got three-way opening, front flipper, back flipper, actually four-way, thumb plate, if you want to call it that, or disc, and fuller opening. So let's try the fuller opening first. I can actually get my finger in there, sort of. Come on, guy. You know what? I'm pushing on the lock bar. Forget about that for now. You want to see the blade, so there it is. Back flipper. And you can see we've got a gorgeous, what appears to be hand-rubbed satin finish on this. Thus, it is the S version, BRATVA S. There's Ketuo, emblazoned, etched, laser etched into the side of the frame. We've got, this could be the maker's mark. We've got an interesting setup of coloration here. This being slightly anode in a darker gray, We've got a lighter gray for the main handle, and we've got that same darker gray for the backspacer. It's a full backspacer with a groove down the middle, kind of its own fuller, and it kind of stands away from the handle here as far as the lanyard hole goes. Not sure I like that. I think it'd be a cleaner look that way, but this is a company known for its really out-of-the-box embellishments on their knives. Reich in particular, but also Ketuo. Let's try a disc open, very easy. Let's try a front flipper with the left hand, which is better at it, pretty easy. And really interesting pivot we've got going on here. I do like the carbon fiber with the blue streaks through it. Not sure it's truly a fat carbon or not. Usually when it is, they give the proper name of the design from fat carbon. So this is probably another type of carbon material. One body screw, two body screws. One's holding the, well, they both hold the backspacer in. Same thing, obviously, on the other side. Clip is held in from underneath. I haven't broken the knife down yet. I do see some rather heavy weight removal on the inside. I'm digging in my pocket for my flashlight. Sorry about that. When you're seated, which I am. There we go. Ooh, let me see if I can knock this down just a little bit. All right, forget how this flashlight works. Where are we? There's the pockets. Pretty deep milled pockets and a pretty thick handle. And a hidden liner. If I keep going out of frame, my apologies. I'm eye to hand here instead of eye to monitor. I like it when they do this. Now it's nicely chamfered. It's got a little bit of a pattern in there. Whether or not that aids in grabbing hold of it, I think perhaps it does a little bit. And easily moved out of the way, and it is dropped shut. Just about perfectly dropped shut. The other thing I really like is when they offer this rather sharpish, fine jimping. Look at that. And there is a lot of it. Runs behind the flipper disc and ahead of it. So a lot of room. You can completely lay your thumb out there and have jimping if that's your thing. You also have a finger choil here that's a little different. Rather than being a semicircle, it's a flat. And they do kick the edge, the heel of the blade forward enough so you're not going to jab yourself if you do use it. And a long clip. So a clip point, yeah, long clip. Could we call it a buoy? Probably not. I'm calling it a long clip. And we're going to get some measurements on it. You saw them already on paper. Let's see if we can do them in real time here, so to speak. And if I get even with the point with the 0 and then all the way out to the end, I'm going to call it 9 inches, just shy by a 1/16 or so of 9 inches. We have a blade. Let me get it on top since it's a clear one, clear ruler. Almost 4 inches, like 3.95. What did they tell us? Well, I put it back in the box. No, I didn't. Just referencing. 385, they're calling it. 385, 395. If we flip it around and get some metrics going here, we've got 22.5 centimeters on the overall and 10 centimeters on the blade length. Very nice. Nice large knife. Like 'em large. How about other dimensions in the event they didn't give them to us? Inches, blade stock, 0.15, handle, 0.66, yeah, it's a thickie. Maybe too thick for your tastes, we don't know. 4.2 millimeter blade stock, plenty of blade stock, 16.8 millimeters on the handle thickness. Let's go around to grams first. So in grams, the weight is 168.75 and almost 6 ounces, 5.95 ounces. All right. That front tab does stick out kind of prominently, but not crazy like some knives. And let's do some compares. And what are we going to do first? How about some other Ketuo knives? First, we have the Telson. That's a beauty. And that Telson has zirconium inlays. Zirconium. And zirconium, polished zirconium, is a fingerprint magnet. It's got it on both sides, like that. There you go. Certainly adds some weight to the knife. Zirconium is always going to be heavy. They use it in nuclear furnaces. Furnaces and nuclear reactors. Fairly much shorter by about 1.25 inches overall. And the blade, if we measure to there, about 1/2 inch or so shorter maybe. And yeah, we've got a bead blasted titanium on this. We've got the blue accent surround and screws. Nice knife. Very fancy. As is the case with many of the Ketuo knives. Here we have the Komatsu. I believe that's a Braden Sweeten design. Might mention it here somewhere. M390. Was this M390? The Telson, I believe it is. You got to sneak around and find it sometimes. The Komatsu is the Japanese name for barracuda, and it is a long one, bigger knife even than the BRATVA. About the same, slightly longer blade, It's out there though. Titanium bolster, M390, really nice carbon fiber, kind of a marbled carbon fiber, but they didn't put it on the clip side. Too bad. That would have completely rounded out this knife. But it is what it is. What else have we got for compare? How about a crazy Reich knife from long ago? They don't make this one anymore. The M2. This is before they got on their real spaceship, space age kick. Started to turn out the Alien and some other really wild knives. This one's wild in its own rights. There you have the M2. It has a secondary lock. Locks the frame lock. Nice double clutch detent there. And a big old flipper. Very prominent, but very easy to open. And look at all the cutouts in here. Kind of like their M3, I think it is, that made by Reich, that has a similar cutout. I didn't pull that one out. Got the ceramic ball on the clip. Not deep carry, but there she be. And some from some other companies. How about, and as I said, Reich and Ketuo are related companies, kind of like sister companies. Here we have from Bestech, we have the VK Navi, which is actually a pretty decent fuller opener. Look at that. This is in Magna Cut. Picked this up from Love Them Knives knife sale. His webpage. Did kind of a trade on a knife that sold that I put up on his page and got that one. I kind of liked it. Also picked up a fixed blade version of that knife. Let's see if we can get them all in the frame here. Why not? Been doing that a lot lately. Let's get them all in the frame. There we go. So the BRATVA and the VK Navi and the M2 by Reich, the Kamasu by Ketuo, and the Telson by Ketuo. See if we got some paper to cut today. Well, we found some computer paper. Let's see what this BRATVA can cut. Keep in mind, I have had knives that don't cut paper, but cut steak just perfectly. But we'll see if she does paper. Oh, smooth, man. Oh, it's smooth. That satin finish, along with a really nicely honed edge, does it. Great. I hate to have failures when I don't try it before the video. Well, there you have it. Another look around. The BRATVA by Ketuo. It is about a $285 knife on White Mountain. There is also a bead blasted blade, and there is a mirror polish blade that jacks the price up there even further. We have a large handle. If you're a slim handle sort of knife carrier, EDC guy, it may be too thick for you. I find it's nice when you got something to hang on to. The clip, I get criticized if I don't talk about the clip. So it is in easy and out with just a little bit of hang, and it's stiff. It is stiff, and it is not fully deep carry. That may or may not mean anything to you. I do like the design on the pivot here, and I like the fact that that also is in this gray. So you see the thumb plate, the back spacer, the pivot, and the clip are all in that. I believe it's got to be anode to make it just a little bit darker. I'm seeing a little bit of color variation there like you get on Anno, so that's probably the case. And otherwise, it is a large knife with a longish blade. So let me know what you think about the Ketuo BRATVA, and maybe any of the others of these, if you think they're cool. I'll be back soon. In the meantime, if you haven't subscribed, there's my logo. Click on that sucker and you can subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified every time a new video drops and other good stuff. So in the meantime, take care, be well, stay safe.